All right, this is our last podcast for Chapter 1, so we're going to just simply take a look at the rest of the problems. 42, 44, 46, and 47. Remember, 51 is on podcast number 2. All right, so let's take a look at number 42. Now, on 42, we're kind of back to estimating again. All right. We want to know basically how much water is used by the average family in this lake. All right. Well, it tells us that our town has a population of 40,000 people. One family is 4 people. Each family uses 1,200 liters. There are 1,000 cubic centimeters in 1 liter. In 1 meter, there are 100 centimeters, but I need to cube that. And there are 365.25 days in a year. And last but not least, in 1 kilometer, there are 1,000 meters. But I need that cubed. Multiply all that out and you should have gotten 0.004 kilometers cubed used per year per family. Now, let's take a look at 44. 44 has to do with water again. We have a heavy rainstorm that dumps 1 centimeter of rain on a city 5 kilometers by 8 kilometers long in a 2-hour period. We want to know how many metric tons that would be. Well, 5 kilometers, it's 5,000 meters. Or 5 times 10 to the 5th centimeters wide. Eight kilometers, well, that's 8,000 meters, or 8 times 10 to the 5th centimeters long, and it's 1 centimeter deep. That works out to be a volume of 40 times 10 to the 10th centimeters cubed of water. Hey! The density of water happens to be 1 gram per centimeter cubed. So that works out to be 40 times 10 to the 10th grams. In 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. in 1 metric ton, they're 1,000 kilograms. And so that works out to be 40 times 10 to the 4th metric tons. And that's 44. All right, number 46. Estimate how many days it would take to walk around the world, assuming each day you only walk for 10 hours and you walk at a speed of 4 kilometers per hour. All right. So in one day, we're only going to walk for 10 hours. In 1 hour, we're walking 4 kilometers. Now, we're going around the world. Around the world, let's say at the equator, that would be a circle. The circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. So 2 pi times the radius, 6.38, times 10 to the 3rd kilometers, per trip. And if you don't remember the radius of the Earth from the previous problems, you can always go back and just look it up in the front cover of Giancoli and do the math, and that works out to be 1,002 days. All right, last one, number 47. Deals with this guy, Noah, who had this boat. It was 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. And it wants the dimension of Noah's Ark in meters, and then to estimate its volume. All right, so 1 cubit. Well, Noah didn't have a meter stick, so he had to use his body part. A cubit is the distance from your elbow to your fingertip, which turns out to be about 1.5 feet. Now remember, we're estimating here. I know a foot ruler is 30 centimeters more or less. So 1.5 feet would be 45 centimeters more or less. So Noah's cubit would be more or less 45 centimeters. So let's take a look at his ark. If it's 300 cubits high, that would be 13,500 centimeters, or 135 meters. It's 50 cubits wide. So that would be 2,250 centimeters, or 22.5 meters. It's 30 cubits. Oops, this should have been long. Sorry. High. So that's 1,350 centimeters, or 13.5 meters. So those are the dimensions of Noah's Ark: 135 meters long, 22.5 meters wide, and 13.5 meters high. So to get the volume, simply multiplied all those together and got 41,000 meters cubed. So that's more or less the volume of Noah's Ark in meters cubed. And that concludes Chapter 1 of Giancoli. Enjoy the rest of your summer.